The Korath Empire was the most powerful force in the galaxy. They had conquered 1,000 worlds. Their military was unmatched. Their emperor ruled with absolute authority. No one dared challenge them. But they wanted more. They always wanted more. Their scouts searched the edges of known space, looking for new territory to claim. And they found something interesting. A vast region of space, once known as human territory. For centuries, it had been silent. No signals. No ships. No activity. The humans who once lived there had vanished without explanation. Their worlds sat empty. Their stations drifted abandoned. The Korath studied the region carefully. Scout ships were sent to survey every system, every planet, every station. They returned with the same report every time. Empty. Abandoned. No life signs. The Korath Emperor smiled when he heard the news. Humans are extinct, he declared. Their space is ours for the taking. His advisors nodded eagerly. New worlds, rich resources, no opposition. It was a gift from the universe. Prepare the colonization fleet, the Emperor ordered. Thousands of ships. Millions of settlers. We will claim what the humans left behind. The Empire celebrated. News spread through every world. New territory. New opportunities. New wealth. Ships were prepared. Settlers volunteered. Soldiers trained for occupation duty. Everyone was excited. Everyone was confident. What could possibly go wrong? The fleet assembled at the edge of human space. Thousands of ships, filled with settlers, soldiers, and supplies. The largest colonization effort in Korath history. The commander, a veteran named Vaughn, looked at the darkness ahead. Any final reports from the scouts? He asked. Nothing, Commander. Empty space. Dead worlds. No threats. Vaughn nodded. Then move the fleet forward. We have new territory to claim. The fleet entered human space. Silence greeted them. Empty systems. Dead planets. Drifting stations. Exactly as expected. Vaughn smiled. This was going to be easier than anyone imagined. They chose the first world for colonization. A beautiful planet, perfect for settlement. Ships descended. Settlers prepared to land. No one noticed the faint lights watching from the darkness. No one noticed the silent ships hidden behind moons. No one noticed that they were not alone. The first settlers stepped onto the new world. They breathed the air, felt the sun, celebrated their good fortune. Behind them, in the darkness of space, something stirred. Something that had been waiting for centuries. Waiting for the moment when someone would be arrogant enough to enter. Waiting to remind them that human space was never empty. The colonization fleet entered human space. Thousands of ships moved in formation, carrying settlers, soldiers, and supplies. They were excited, confident, ready to claim new worlds. Commander Vaughn watched from his flagship, satisfied. Everything was going according to plan. But some of the settlers felt uneasy. The silence was too complete. No signals. No ships. No activity. Just empty space and dead worlds. It felt wrong. Too perfect. Like someone had cleaned up before leaving. Like someone was watching. Settle down, the officers told them. It's empty. There's nothing here. But the feeling would not go away. They chose the first world for colonization. It was beautiful. Green hills, blue skies, perfect weather. Ships descended toward the surface, ready to begin a new life. As the first settlers stepped onto the ground, someone noticed something. A monument. Simple. Stone. Standing alone in a field. They approached carefully. Words were carved into the stone in dozens of languages, including their own. This world is protected. Turn back now. This is your only warning. The message was clear. Ancient. Unmistakable. A soldier reported to Commander Vaughn. Vaughn read the message and laughed. A warning from a dead species, he said. Humans have been extinct for centuries. This is just an old relic. Ignore it. Should we investigate further? Someone asked. No. We have thousands of ships and millions of settlers. What could a dead species do to us? Begin colonization. The order was given. Settlers spread across the world. Buildings rose. Equipment activated. Life began on the new colony. They thought nothing of the monument. Nothing of the warning. Nothing of the silence. They were too busy celebrating their good fortune. But in the darkness of space, something watched. Something that had waited centuries for this moment. Something that remembered the warning carved in stone. and something that was about to remind them why human space was never empty. The first night on the new world began peacefully. Settlers ate dinner, put children to bed, prepared for their first full day on a new planet. Everything seemed perfect. Then strange things began to happen. Equipment failed without warning. Lights flickered and died. Communications systems went silent. People reported seeing lights in the distance, moving too fast, too silently. Panic spread through the settlement. By morning, half the power was gone. Ships wouldn't start. Weapons wouldn't fire. Communication arrays were dead. They were stranded, cut off from the rest of the fleet. Settlers huddled together, afraid and confused. What was happening? Who was doing this? Commander Vaughn tried to restore order, but nothing worked. Every system they touched failed. Every attempt to contact the fleet was met with silence. They were alone. Then a voice came through on all channels. Ancient. Calm. Patient. You were warned. The words hung in the air, heavy with meaning. You saw the monument. You read the message. You chose to ignore it. A pause. Now you will learn. The sky changed. Ships appeared from nowhere. From behind moons. From inside asteroids. From the darkness where no one thought to look. Human ships. Thousands of them. They surrounded the Korath fleet completely. Silent. Patient. Terrifying. Commander Vaughn stared at his screens in disbelief. They were never gone, he whispered. They were here all along. His officers stared at the screens, faces pale, hands shaking. Waiting, Vaughn continued. They were waiting. The human ships did not fire, did not move, did not threaten. They simply waited. And in that waiting, the Korath felt something they had never felt before. True fear. The standoff lasted hours. Human ships surrounded the Korath fleet on all sides. They did not fire. They did not move. They simply waited. Commander Vaughn stared at his screens, unable to look away. Thousands of human ships, silent and patient, watching them. His officers whispered nervously. Settlers huddled in fear. Soldiers gripped weapons they knew were useless. No one knew what would happen next. Then a voice came through on all channels. Calm. Steady. Certain. You entered our space. The words were simple, but they carried weight. You ignored our warning. You saw the monument. You read the message. You chose to continue. A pause. You thought we were gone. The voice continued. We have been here for centuries. Watching. Waiting. Preparing. Vaughn's blood ran cold. We let you believe we were extinct because it was easier than fighting endless wars. Easier to let you think we were gone. Another pause. Easier to wait for the moment when you would reveal your true nature. You have a choice. The voice was calm, but firm. Leave now and never return. Take your settlers, your ships, your empire, and go. Forget this space exists. A longer pause. Or stay and learn the true price of arrogance. Vaughn looked at his officers. At the terrified faces. At the hopeless situation. He looked at the settlers on the planet below, stranded and afraid. At the ships that wouldn't stat, the weapons that wouldn't fire. He had no choice. Open a channel, he ordered quietly. Channel open, Commander. Vaughn took a deep breath. We will leave. We will never return. Please, please let us go. Silence. Then the human voice returned. A wise choice. Go now. Do not look back. The order was given. Ships powered up. Settlers evacuated. The fleet turned and fled. They did not stop at the edge of the system. They kept going, jumping to faster than light, not stopping until human space was far behind them. They did not look back. No one wanted to see those ships again. But they would never forget. The day they learned that human space was never empty. The day they learned the price of arrogance. The Korath returned home, humiliated and terrified. They told their story to anyone who would listen. The monument. The warning. The ships appearing from nowhere. The voice that gave them a choice. Some believed them. Some laughed. Some called them cowards. But the story spread. Across the galaxy, the tale traveled from world to world. Human space is not empty. It never was. The humans are still there, watching, waiting. And those who enter without permission will learn a terrible lesson. Species that had once considered expanding into human space changed their plans. Traders who had thought about exploring those regions thought again. A new rule spread across the galaxy. No one enters human space. No one even approaches it. The region became legend. A place of mystery and fear. Stories told to children to make them behave. Warnings shared between traders. Whispers in spaceports and council chambers. Human space was marked on every map with a simple notation. Do not enter. No one questioned it. No one needed to know why. The memory of what happened to the Korath was enough. Years passed. On a Korath world, a young boy sat with his grandfather, looking at the stars. "Grandfather," he asked, "is it true? Is human space really protected?" The grandfather was old now, his hair white, his face lined with years. But his eyes still held the memory of that day. "Yes," he said quietly. "It is true." The boy leaned forward. "What happened? Why can't we go there?" The grandfather looked at the stars, at the place where human space existed, far away. "Long ago, we thought they were gone. Extinct. We sent ships to claim their worlds. It seemed easy." He paused. It was not easy. "What happened?" the boy asked again. "We found a monument. It warned us to leave. We ignored it." The grandfather's eyes grew distant. "That night, everything changed. Our equipment failed. Our ships died. We were stranded." He looked at his grandson. Then their ships appeared. Thousands of them. Surrounding us completely. They had been there all along. Waiting. The boy's eyes widened. "What did they do?" "They gave us a choice. Leave and never return. Or stay and learn the price of arrogance. We left." The boy nodded slowly. "Will anyone ever try to enter again?" The grandfather shook his head. "No. Because now we know the price. And it's too high to pay." Somewhere in human space, on a world that was never empty, a human woman sat with her child. They looked at the stars together, watching ships come and go, living their peaceful lives. "Mother," the child asked, "will they ever come back? The ones who tried to take our worlds?" The woman smiled. She had heard the stories. Everyone had. "I don't know," she said. "But if they do, we'll be ready." The child looked up at her. Ready for what? Ready to remind them. She pointed at the stars, at the place where the Korath had fled. "Let them remember. That's enough." The child nodded, not fully understanding but knowing they would remember this conversation. They sat together, watching the stars, peaceful and content. And somewhere, across the galaxy, the warning held. No one entered human space. No one even approached it. Because they remembered. And they always would.